We got high temp, we got low temp, and we've got why the actual heck would you make this out of this filament? Ladies, gentlemen, and cyclopes, this is Voidstar Lab. Or is it PrintFixFriday? I don't know. Let's get into it. You all always called me the low-budget Zack Freedman, so we might as well make it a reality.
Find your own gimmick.
Oh, I like those.
So I've printed a lot of stuff for my channel, and most of it has turned out badly. So I've provided Grant with some of the most cursed misprints from all throughout the history of Voidstar Lab. These run the gamut of all kinds of crazy filaments and all kinds of crazy things going wrong. So this is going to be a Print Fix Friday like no other. Some of these problems are with the filament, some of these problems are with the setting, some of these problems are with the nozzle, at least one of these problems is with the slicer. Follow along and see if you can figure out what the hell happened to these prints. These are some really messed up prints. Some date from the very beginning of the channel. Oh, well, that one's fairly recent. Oh, I know, right?
This one too?
Yeah, I mean, it was for a recent episode, but it was with an old printer.
Wait, do you still have your replicator too?
It's right there. It's in the boiler room.
Why? All right, Zach. I got some peak prints here.
Those are PEI, 9085.
They're 9085.
It doesn't look anything like peak at all.
It's certain types of peak it does. I have peak. I literally have peak upstairs.
It's that silk peak.
Okay, fair. All right, so this is 9085 Ultem because smoke 'em if you got 'em. And this goes where?
So that is the fender part of the Death Racer.
Yeah, it's the rear part of his Death Racer out of Ultem, a material that no matter how hot you get it will not catch fire.
Well, Ultem is something that, you know, nearly everyone watching this video probably already owns,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
Where would they find it?
They're print beds.
Exactly.
And that makes it a fundamental pain in the ass to print. One, it requires crazy high temps, which means you needed to use that bad mamma jamma sitting right over there, the Vision Miner 22 IDEX V4.
A printer so heavy they had to fly here to install it personally because I can't carry it down the stairs.
It weighs 200 pounds. The problem is PEI, no matter what you do, whether you're using some of that good sticky Vision Miner nanopolymer adhesive or you're just sending it because you're a monster, is a real pain to print. And this first part, pretty obvious to me. We had some warping on this side where it just came off the build plate. This is part of the problem with any high temp plastics. They have a tendency to shrink, and when they do, they warp, or in this case, they crack. This one's got some cracks in it, and is that a pretty serious warp?
It is.
It looks like you tried to fix that warp.
I did put in some countermeasures to try to mitigate the warping.
What did you do?
Can you figure it out by the scars it left on the bottom side, especially around the corners?
You put mouse ears on this, didn't you?
Exactly.
Which is actually like the right thing to do.
However, you'll notice that there are chunks taken out.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
You tried to rip it off rather than cutting it off.
I didn't. The mouse ears were only one layer thick, and it peeled so aggressively, it ripped itself off the mouse ears.
Welcome to the world of high temp polymers, where they really don't like to stick to each other, and unless you have a really, really hot chamber. The 22 IDEX V4 can do what? I know it's at least 90. Can it do 100?
It can do 100. You have to give it a few hours to rev up, but yeah, it'll hit 100.
We're talking about the chamber temperature, folks, not the heat bed, not the hot end. The hot end can do 500 Celsius. The heat bed's good for what? At least 150.
It can go to, I think it's rated for 220.
Yeah, so you're talking over 200 Celsius on the freaking build plate. And that is kind of on the lower end of what you want for 9085. 1010 on the other hand, which is kind of a more translucent, glossy looking material. In fact, you can see on the previous Print Fix Friday where I printed 1010 that was, well, wetter than your mother after Zach opens his mouth. It wasn't fun to say the least, but I accomplished what I needed to do with it, so it worked out. But yeah, you experienced some thermal warping, didn't you?
Oh yeah, the warping was crazy, and this is with the chamber preheated to 100 Celsius for an entire day.
Ooh, that power bill must have sucked.
Well, I couldn't use anything else in my workshop because it would have blown the fuse.
See, that's a thing that we don't talk about enough in this industry is the power usage of these machines and what actually needs to be done to make them work properly.
Well, I mean, most of the power goes into heating it up in the first place. Keeping it hot takes a lot less current.
Too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad to do that. How did you end up rectifying this?
It's actually very interesting. Here, let me bring over the actual Death Racer so you can see the finished part in situ. So this bit right here is the finished part.
Okay.
And you'll notice it looks a lot nicer. There isn't a single bit of pitting or scarring. There's no splitting. There's nothing. Two things have been changed here, right? The first is I didn't print it. Vision Miner themselves printed this part.
The answer was the experts did it.
Yes, they know what they're doing a lot better than me. But you'll notice this print that came out well and this print that split apart are not identical.
Everything is rounded rather than sharp.
Exactly.
It reduces stress risers.
Yep.
Huh.
In order to make this thing print well, it wasn't enough to change the print settings. It wasn't enough to work on my bed adhesion. It wasn't enough to have professionals do it. Yeah, I had to round every edge 10 millimeters just to get it to work. When you're using a filament this demanding, you have to design the model specifically to fit the filament. It's not the other way around.
Speaking of high temp filaments, you decided to do this. This hurts my soul.
What, you don't like articulated dragons?
I mean, I think that they are directly responsible
It's all right, neither do I.
This articulated dragon is a little special because it's made out of TPI.
That's right. So TPI is most famous for being what people search on Google when they try to search for TPU and they miss the key.
And they get this, and they're like, why is it so expensive?
No, it's the other direction. It's really hard to search for TPI because it autocorrects the TPU because it thinks you fat fingered it. TPI is thermoplastic polyimide. Polyimide is the same family of chemicals as Kapton.
So this stuff sucks to print, and it's very expensive.
It's fairly expensive, and saying it sucks to print is a real understatement. Like, TPI is one of the hardest to print polymers of a hard to print category.
I've never printed with it. And that can tell you how difficult it is, because it has never come up in the 18 years that I've been 3D printing, ever.
Well, it's a very specialized filament, and many printers, including ones meant for super polymers, can't actually print it.
But this dragon had a bit of a problem.
Well, this one actually came out perfectly.
It's a little stringy.
It's a bit stringy, but that's to be expected. So this guy here was printed out of thermoplastic polyimide at 500 degrees Celsius on a 220 degree build plate.
Literally everything up as high as it can go.
It actually looks quite nice.
No, it looks beautiful.
It looks gorgeous, right? TPI is a highly amorphous filament, so it actually prints very similarly to PLA.
Just really, 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 really hot.
Yes, at crazy temperatures. Now, the print failures happened before and after this. I ran this off, and then I went to print some more parts for like the Death Racer and other things. I never got another successful print from this spool, even though I went and tried to dehydrate it multiple times. There was also a print failure that happened, well, I mean, it wasn't a print failure, but it was a failure that happened before I ran this off.
The reason we cannot have anything nice.
In my defense, TPI has to be heated to about 150 Celsius to dehydrate properly. And what does that that translates to like about 400, 450 Fahrenheit.
It's incalculable, but the editors will put it on the screen. It's friggin' hot.
Yeah, and it turns out toaster oven, or convection oven in this case, does not go straight to that temperature. It heats up much hotter, and then it lets that settle. And
so the funny thing is, we've talked about this more than once on the channel, but it's normally from when people try to dry PLA or PETG in their food oven.
Yes, it's important to remember that this is filament that's meant to operate at 200 Celsius on a spool that's meant to be heated well over 200.
It's so stuck off there.
Oh, it's welded in place. Here, flip it over. You can see where the bars are bent. I tried to pry it off.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting this off easily.
Oh no, it's become one.
You know, normally when this happens, we say just throw out the tray. I'm gonna tell you not to throw out the tray, and you need to frame this. This has to be a forever.
I mean, it costs as much as a piece of studio art.
Here's why this is a problem. And so we've talked about this before, but it's the hysteresis. Commercial and end user level ovens that use ceramic, quartz, whatever types of heaters, they have like a 30+ Celsius hysteresis.
Probably a lot more in this case.
Probably, and this is why when you want to DIY a dryer, you should have a proper PLC. We're gonna be doing an entire video about this because I just bought a really older vintage all glass air fryer for this exact purpose. So if you guys want to see it, make sure to leave a like and get subscribed. Have you done this before? I know some of you out there are watching this video saying, well,
hopefully not with TPI.
Well, okay, yeah, I doubt anyone's. You might have the most expensive oven-related 3D printing failure on this channel.
I will say, if anyone who's watching this has actually destroyed a spool of TPI, you have got to leave a comment because everyone is going to want to hear that.
Yeah, and we need the whole story, and email me photos because we need to see that too.
So here's the question. Why could I never get another successful print with this spool?
Because it's melted.
No, not with this spool, with the spool used to print the dragon, you friggin' idiot.
I don't actually know.
I'll give you a hint. Since my air fryer is no longer functional, I dehydrate my filament by just putting it in the 22IDXV4, turning on the heater, letting it run overnight.
I mean, look, let's be real. If you have printers with heated chambers and you're not drying filament underneath the build plate, you're literally wasting money.
Build plate.
Just do it.
And around it.
Well, if you're actively printing
So
with the
here's the
machine.
question. This worked great for PEI. This worked great for Peak. This even worked for PSU and other exotics.
Doesn't get hot enough, does it?
Correct. It only hits 100 Celsius, and this can only dry at 120 Celsius. You have to heat it above boiling to drive the water off. That's how strong it absorbs water.
This is why we tell you guys that when you're gonna print high temperature stuff, make sure you're charging high temperature money. And if your client does ask for a Flexi Dragon made out of TPI, give them a number that if they call your bluff, you're not gonna be too pissed off about it.
And build in some overage.
So moving from the hottest thing that we've ever shown on PrintFixFriday to this. This is a red PLA part, looks fine until you look closelier, and you'll see the entire thing is so ghosted, I'm expecting it to put on a rock concert.
I will point out the filament itself is fairly high quality. This is like a galaxy filament with different sizes of glitter in it. And oftentimes that shows defects more harshly. But this is the special Hedgehog Makes filament.
Yep.
He sent me back with a 7th spool of it. So this is a fairly high quality filament that actually has a bit of a matte finish to it.
Yep.
So unlike most Galaxy filaments, it actually kind of hides the ghosting. So why was it so bad on this one?
Because this was your replicator too.
Can the printer cause that much of a problem?
It can. You were also under extruding.
Ooh.
I don't know if you saw it, but if we look up here on the shoulders, you'll see some gaps in there. And so you were under extruding. So a combination of under extruding, which honestly the glitter, given those older style nozzles, could have clogged it. It's not a guarantee, but it could have done it. Ghosting is a tough one. This is too old of a machine to have input shaping, pressure advance, any of that. You don't have any of those features, period. They don't exist. Did you run it fast?
I ran it as fast as it'll allow.
Like 60s?
Yeah, it's quite slow.
Yeah. So
it just wobbles that much.
my assumption is a combination of it just being old and kind of a little bit loose and creaky.
It just acts like that. The under extrusion is actually a really interesting point because I think it's because of something you don't see very often anymore. And that is, oh man, can you guess? Can you guess why my Makerbot Replicator 2 is under extruding in some parts but not others?
Nothing is immediately coming to mind other than just the whack cooling job those machines had.
It's, I think, because it can't regulate its own temperature.
Okay, so yeah.
The Makerbot Replicator 2 uses a thermocouple in the hot end, not a thermistor.
Yep.
So it can't actually get an accurate temperature reading at PLA temperatures. Generally, back in the day, when you were using a Replicator 2, you would print PLA at 250 Celsius just to make sure it never dips too far below. I deliberately printed this using the specs on the box.
You can tell that Zack's owned that Replicator 2 for a while because I can tell you that there was a raft printed on this.
Very, very much so.
Yeah.
How can you tell?
Because the bottom surface doesn't look perfect. So you could actually see the lines aren't touching each other, and that is quintessential of what you expect for a raft.
You got the white residue as well.
Yeah, the white residue, but if you wanted to, torch that off, you could. But yeah, that's just from the stressing of the plastic. For those of you that are still using rafts, stop. You don't need to do it. The reason that we used them was for ABS and nylon printing back in the day, because we didn't have heated beds.
Never underestimate how bad the Replicator 2's bed was.
It was pretty bad. But that machine was so good.
Oh, compared to the alternatives, yeah, it was phenomenal.
If you ever want to give an OG in this industry just an aneurysm, just talk to them about the Makerbot Replicator series. And if you really, really want them to go on a diatribe, so about the extruders on the Replicator 5s.
Oh, for sake.
So then we move on to, this is the same Hedgehog makes red PLA, right?
Same filament, same printer.
If any of you ever bitch about VFAs on your printers, I'm gonna have Zach here print you apart with whatever friggin' settings he used on this. The VFAs are so strong that if I gave this to someone who can read Braille, they might be able to tell me a story with how bad this is. There are so many ribs to it. Part of this could be because of the model itself never was all that high resolution. In reality, according to Zach, this is because you went too fine on your layers.
The slicing resolution was too low. That's because I sliced this with Makerbot Slicer.
Did you use Replicator G?
No, I used Makerbot Studio.
I'm so sorry.
I used Makerbot Studio, which uses a very low resolution slicing to make it look like it's going fast. And it's important to remember, the Makerbot Replicator 2 is a 16-bit machine.
Yep.
So not only does it slice to a very low resolution, it can't run very many commands at once, and those commands don't have a lot of resolution. The Makerbot Studio Slicer doesn't support arc fitting, right? So it only does straight lines. I believe the Makerbot printer itself can't properly interpolate arcs.
A lot of them couldn't, because literally it took more processing than what was available.
These artifacts are caused by the slicer slicing these smooth sloped surfaces into jagged, basically PlayStation 1 era sort of line segments to follow, and then the printer, which is full of slop and very wobbly, exacerbating that.
I mean, so this is literally like Tomb Raider 1 Lara Croft levels of graphical quality.
These artifacts are like CRT artifacts caused by the low resolution rendering of the PS1. Modern printers actually have 3 ways to mitigate this, right? Like a modern printer, first off, will just be more solid and wobble less.
Right.
It'll also slice to a higher resolution into
much higher,
into more commands that can run with a shorter time between them. And modern slicers will also detect curves. Instead of chopping them into tiny little segments, will just draw a smooth arcing path. So even if the printer can't keep up with all those choppy little commands, it can still follow that smooth path.
It is amazing to see like where we were, and we used to consider parts like this really good. Like if you, back in the Rep 2 days, if you made a part like this and it was this clean and it worked. Okay, so any of you that have printed this gear heart before know how difficult the tolerances are on this, especially with the older machines.
In my defense, I did put a tremendous amount of grease on it.
Hey, when in doubt, lubricate. That's what I've been saying for years, man.
You can always lube more. Oh God, what do you have there?
I have one of your cursed Benchies.
Yes, that's the Ghost Ship Benchy.
From your Every Filament episode.
From the Cursed Filaments episode specifically, yes, this is an authentic cursed filament.
This is a proper cursed filament. This is Algae. This is PLA with algae, right?
It's good for the environment or something.
Yeah.
Oh God, it smells so bad when it was printing.
Does it? Does it still? No, it doesn't have stink anymore.
No, only when it's hot.
There's a lot of things wrong with this. The main one obviously being that it is real wet. I'm expecting rap songs to be made about it because it is so damn wet.
Now from the top, make it drop, that's some wet and
algae. The thing that I find interesting about it is not the stringing, it's the color. Now, you'll be the only one that knows this because I haven't seen the filament on the roll. Does it have the striations of color that we see, or is that actually from the heat?
That is a really good pickup. No, the filament was consistent on the spool.
Okay, this has the same problem that you will get with wood fill filaments if you print too slowly. They will actually start to change colors because they're getting too darn hot.
So you can actually tell what parts of this print it slowed down to print. This is part of why they pulled this product from the market, because it was just so hard to print it consistently.
I can imagine. You're not going to get perfect prints out of this, and people have gotten so used to literally this, which from anything more than 2 feet away looks beautiful, but when you get right up on it, I am all for being able to tune stuff in, but if you use filament like this, and if you use wood fills and you run them at their higher end, you'll see the exact same problem. And it's why we don't see the wood fills of yesteryear. We see wood dust. We don't see wood fiber anymore.
You can still get it if you know where to look, but no, for the most part, you are correct.
Wood lay, I think, was one of the last ones.
Call it wood flour. So what's cool about this filament here is they made it very clear when they sold this that the color would not be consistent.
Right.
This was very much an environmentally friendly product. The idea was it's made with, I think it's made with algae skimmed off like ponds and streams and basically reclaimed waterways. But the point is that, by replacing part of a bioplastic with another biomass that would have gone into the ground and rotted, it does a little bit of carbon capturing. And the idea was people would put up with having a nasty looking filament if it was good for the environment. It turned out that is a terrible business model and no one would actually do that.
Hey Mitch, Mr. Polar Filament over there, with your PHA, with your real biodegradable filament, could you do a PHA and algae mix?
I think the company still sells the dried concentrated algae. I will say, while this stuff printed, it smelled like burning hair.
Yeah, it's plant matter that's just getting burned. You're carbonizing.
I guess that is what happens when you heat pond scum to double the boiling point and force it through a brass nozzle.
If you do want to see other interesting cursed and upcoming teeth filaments, make sure to go subscribe and watch Zack's Every Filament
Doesn't have
series.
real teeth.
Let them guess. By the way, there's over 48 minutes of raw filming in this episode, so if you guys do want to see the entire thing effectively uncut, make sure to join Patreon, PayPal, YouTube channel members, whatever, and we're gonna release this so that you guys can watch the hilarity as it ensues in real time, including some jokes that didn't make it on air for whatever reasons that we have decided to cut them. Last but not least, it's hammer time. You decided that when every print looks like a nail, that you should print a hammer out of PPACF.
That was a real car
material
crash
that-
of a metaphor right there.
This is why you're the wordsmith and I'm the wish.com Zack Freedman.
This is why I write a script. All right, what the hell is PPACF?
I actually don't know what it stands for. I know what CF stands for.
Allow me to explain.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you.
PPA is also called high temperature nylon.
Yes.
And I believe it's short for I think it's polyphenylene amide. It's of the nylon family. It's a much more rigid polymer, and it prints and remains stable at a much higher temperature.
You are actually almost dead on. Polythalamide.
It was polythalamide.
Pretty good. He was pretty darn close there.
PPA is also known as high temperature nylon. It's very stiff. It's very temperature resistant. Printing is basically the selling point of modern mid-high temp printers like
350C.
like the Prusa Core one.
Well, might be on the top end, but definitely like the
like 280 to 3 something.
The Bamboo H2S, H2D, you see a lot more people using it in there.
Yeah, so unlike standard nylon, PPA is not quite as hygroscopic. Like, it still takes on moisture, but it's about the same rate as ABS, not nylon's like 45 minutes and it's screwed. However, it suffers from a few different issues that conventional nylon does not have.
Overhang performance is lacking at best. We could also see that it either needed more cooling or it had too much cooling. Nylon is very picky. If you have too much cooling, it will curl. If you don't have enough cooling, it will curl.
Does the fact that this is a carbon fiber composite change that diagnosis?
So all it would do is make it less prone to warping and make it less strong.
If you're curious, this actually printed at far too hot a temperature.
You didn't have enough cooling, technically.
I guess.
Because you can print at higher temperatures, but you have to be able to lock in that layer before it has a time to shrink. And honestly, it's pretty good. Like,
it's great. I mean, it's a nice
I get
filament.
it, this edge doesn't look great, but I got a random orbital sander and 10 seconds that says it'll look totally fine.
Also, it's just worth remembering that especially on some of these high-spec filaments, you just can't expect the same level of performance you can with things like PLA, right? Like this is a 45-degree angle. This is a 45-degree overhang. You know, like 45 degrees is like the standard for most filaments.
It's acceptable for most filaments.
But something like PPA that has such a large gap between its printing temperature and its glass transition temperature can sag a lot more. So instead of 45 degrees being the cutoff, it's got to be like 30 instead. That's why it's so important to design the model to fit the filament, especially when you're using this weird high spec stuff. I'm making it my mission to try every polymer and every additive that it is possible to print. And that means I have at some point had to bull my way through anything that can go wrong with a 3D print.
So if you do have weird old filaments that are laying around that you don't want, and Zack hasn't used it in a video, go back, watch his videos to make sure.
Honestly, you're better off just asking me.
Or you can just ask him. That's fine too.
Yeah,
I was trying to get you views and watch hours, but I guess he doesn't want those. And look, if you guys do have any print failures that you do want to submit, you can email them to us, you can send it to us, slide into those DMs, whatever works best for you all. Instagram, Twitter, and email are normally the best 3 ways of reaching me. If it is a simple, easy fix, we'll just help you via DM. If it's something a little bit more complicated, we'll wait to show it off in a show. And I can't thank you enough, Zack, one, for letting us come down here, come check out the entire space. Voidstar Lab is a maker's paradise. You actually have dedicated work surfaces, which is crazy because none of us have this.
Well, it's easy to keep it clean because every tool and part has its own spot in this grid-based modular organizer system.
What is it called? I mean, it might be called like, I don't know, infinite grids?
Yeah, gridternity.
Yeah. I know, if you guys have a good idea for a name for a modular grid-based, organization system, let us know down in those comments.
And you can find me at youtube.com/Zack Freedman. If you'd like to reach out to me, if you have an interesting filament to show me, you can find me on my Discord. That's discord.gg/Voidstar Lab. If there's anything you'd like to hear, definitely let us know. Grant knows a lot more about the professional and production end of 3D printing. I've always been more focused on the projects and the hobbyist stuff. Let us know what's going wrong with your prints. Let us know what's going right with your prints. Every once in a while, we got to see a success story too, right?
And a huge thank you to those of you that did come up to us and chat with us during Rocky Mountain Rep App. There was like almost a dozen people that are like, your PrintFixFriday series was the reason for this, was the reason for that. It wasn't your PrintFixFriday was the reason that I hate my life, so at least I'm going well in that direction.
Look, when you know what to look for, it becomes so much easier to solve these issues.
Hey, that's literally why we started this now, this many weeks in, because I totally forget the number that we're supposed to be at this point. But look, guys, if you did enjoy this episode, and maybe you do want to see more of Zack, maybe we can convince him to come hang out on a podcast at some point in the future. Although for that, I might want to just fly up and do it with you in person. It might be more fun to do that.
Why don't you fly me down, you cheapskate?
Do you really want to go to Florida?
No, I don't want to go to Florida. Yeah, anyways, thanks a lot for thanks for invading my workshop. Hope you've enjoyed my extremely comfortable chair while I've had to stand here off on the side.
Look, if you guys enjoyed this and you want to see more of it, make sure to leave a like, get subscribed, leave a comment down below. Craziest fail, why? But what do you think of the replicator prints? These ones are the most unique here as far as I'm concerned. That is all we have for you all today. Stay safe out there. Don't forget to call your loved ones. I don't know. Don't forget, I guess, to touch grass every now and then, right?
And we will see you in the future.
And as always, keep making awesome.
We'll see you in the future.
Keep making awesome.
See you in the future.
Take care.
I'll see you in the future.
In the future! Ladies, gentlemen, cyclopes, this is Voidstar Lab. Okay, I can't actually wear these because they're...
Do you want to do another take?
We can. I was rolling right into the actual video.